Morning. Uh, Today, let's start standing at the top of the mat. So, a little different than the way we typically start. You'll come up to the top of the mat, have the feet hip width distance apart. So, give yourself some space between the feet. And then look down at the feet for a moment. Your feet are so important, right? When we're practicing yoga and just in our everyday day to day life. So when you look down at the feet, make sure the toes are pointing straight forward. I know that sounds basic, but sometimes when it feels like our feet are pointing straight forward, they're actually not. And then start to rock forward and back. So go a little too heavy on the balls of the feet and then a little too heavy on the heels of the feet so that the toes lift. And then find center between the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. Lift and spread the toes. Try to get space between all of the toes. That's very important. It may not happen, but just make the effort there. And then slowly start to set the toes back down onto the mat. So they're just resting. They're not gripping, but they're spread, they're lengthened, and those are your feet. Hug the outer ankles in, spin the inner thighs back behind you, lift the belly, lift the sternum, arms down by the sides. So you're reaching down toward the mat. Rise up through the crown of the head. Close the eyes if you're comfortable with that. If it messes with your balance at all, you can leave them open and just start gaze down the bridge of the nose. Take a deep breath in through the nose, back out through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose, back out through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose, back out through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose, slowly back out through the nose. Keep going with this breath. Try not to lose the stance of your posture in mountain pose, keeping everything engaged, keeping the chest lifted, shoulder blades down the back, lowest front ribs hugging in. Blink open the eyes. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face away from you, and then start to press the palms up toward the sky as you lengthen down through the legs. Pinkies can go back, thumbs can go up, shoulders still in place. So you want to keep that space at the top of the back and the sides of the neck long. Then turn the palms to face down toward the head. Switch the weaving of the fingers. So one index finger over, and then same thing. Turn the palms to face up, reach the arms up, still driving down through the legs, lifting up through the upper body. Maybe the arms start to go back a little further. So you might have your arms in front of your ears, or maybe they naturally go right next to your ears. Maybe they're starting to go a little further back. That's all about your shoulders. Don't force it. It's more about keeping the arms straight first and then working the arms back. And this does build heat. So if you're wondering why that's happening, it's supposed to happen. And then from here, release the hands, keep the arms up, bend the knees, not quite chair pose, just a little bend there. And then fold forward over the legs, rest the chest on the thighs. So torso is completely connected to the thighs, clasp opposite elbows, let the head and the neck go. So make sure the knees are bent enough so that you get the whole torso on the thighs, head and neck release. Switch the clasp of the elbows. You could work towards straighter legs, but still keep the chest on the thighs, which means you won't be able to straighten them too much more than where they're at right now. And bring the hands down to the mat. Straighten the legs this time. Come up halfway. Slide the hands up the sides of the legs. We're staying here. So make sure you're even between the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. Chest is reaching forward. Look down. So you're looking straight down. You'll feel the length in the backside of the neck. Widen across the collarbones. Lengthen the sides of the neck. Hug the belly in. Hug those lowest front ribs in. Notice how much your legs have to work to support this pose, Ardha Uttanasana. Keep your Ujjayi breath going. So the backside of the body's working, your core's working. And slowly fold back down over the legs. Uttanasana, forward fold. Let the head and the neck go. Maybe the hands easily touch the mat. Come back up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. You're coming all the way back up to standing. Circle the arms all the way back up. Bring the hands together overhead, down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way back up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way back up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. One more like that one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart. A little different this time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, fingertips to the mat. Step the left foot back behind you. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. Reach the right arm up for a twist. You can keep that back knee lifted, although if you need to bring it down, that's fine too. Line up that right hand with the right shoulder, if you can see it. Then looking down at the mat, bring the right hand down inside of the right foot. Walk the hands over to the left. Grab onto the outer calves, ankles, feet, whatever you can reach. Let the head and the neck go. If your head is touching down on the mat, bring your feet closer together so that it's not touching the mat. We want to go for length in the spine, and you'll shrink that length if the head touches down on the mat. Bring the hands forward right underneath the shoulders. Turn the toes to the top of the mat. Step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up for that twist in your lunge. That bottom shoulder's away from the ear, the right shoulder. Biceps spinning forward. Left knee's going forward. If it's going out to the side, then we need to widen the stance. Look down at the mat, left hand inside the left foot. Walk the hands over to the right. This time, maybe you catch the big toes with the first two fingers and the thumb. Come up halfway, and you want that yogi toe lock. So big toes pressing into the fingers. Fingers are lifting up into the big toe. Then you can flare out the elbows, let the head and the neck go. Make sure you're not heavier in the heels. That might mean you need to shift the hips forward if that's happening. So opening up the back sides of the legs. When we rock back, you take away that opening. Start to lift up halfway, fingertips in front of the shoulders. Turn the toes to face the top of the mat. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, full. Bend the knees. Hands come down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Hold plank pose. So line up your middle fingers so they're pointing straight forward, and then try to get the thumbs to point toward one another. You'll feel a nice opening in the hands when you do that. Biceps are going forward, triceps are going back, chest is going forward, belly's lifted without taking the hips up. Legs are strong, and you're still with your Ujjayi breath. Lower all the way down onto your stomach. Slowly with control. You can use the knees to get there, tops of the feet to the mat. Reach the arms back behind you. So it's like you have a beach ball between the hands and you're squeezing the beach ball. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Press into the tops of the feet. Keep them down. Lift and spread the chest. Exhale, you can release the chest. Keep that beach ball between the hands. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale up. Doesn't need to be your biggest back bend. And release the chest back down. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Come up to hands and knees. Walk the hands in so they're right underneath the shoulders. Let's do a few rounds of cat-cow breath. So on the inhale, reach the heart forward, lift the tail. On the exhale, round the spine, chin in toward the chest. Keep going on your own with your own breath. Your hands probably went back to the way they normally like to be. So maybe you just take a peek and see what they naturally do. If that middle finger is still going forward, if the thumbs are pointing toward one another, if any of your fingers are touching, you want to keep space between the fingers. 1 more cycle, forward and back. Take child's pose, big toes together, sit the hips back, arms out in front of you, forehead down. Try to keep the elbows and forearms lifted away from the mat. Shoulders go back toward the hips. Sternum reaches forward. Hips are trying to touch the heels. Walk the hands in, bring the feet over to one side, come to seated on your mat. So make sure your hips are near the center of the mat so you have room behind you. And let's come into Navasana, boat pose. So arms reach forward, my feet are still on the mat, palms face up, lift the chest, and then look up. So that keeps your chest lifted. Squeeze the inner thighs, inner edges of the legs together, and then you can start to rock back a little bit till you can find the sacrum, that triangular flat bone where you can balance. And then you can start to lift the feet in line with the knees. Some people like to extend the legs straight out, but if that brings too much pressure into the hip flexor area, skip it. You're still getting good core work here in your boat pose. Extend the legs, hovering the heels over the mat, arms still reaching forward, shoulder blades are lifted away from the mat, core is hugging in. Interlace the fingers back behind the head, bring the right knee in, twist to the right. Extend the right leg out, bring the left leg in, left knee in, twist to the left. Extend the left leg out, side to side. So the legs are extended. If it's too much, then you can bring the knees together and do your traditional bicycle. It is harder to have the legs out in front of you, but try to keep it slow and controlled. One more time each side, right and left. You'll come back to Ardha Navasana, arms reaching forward. Bring it back to Navasana. So chest is lifted, back to this boat pose. Then cross the legs. You're coming to a cross-legged seat. Bring the hands down in front of you. Shift to downward facing dog. Step the feet back, lift the hips up. And it's your first dog pose. So if you want to have some movement here, feel free to do that. From downward facing dog, next inhale, glide forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat slowly. Tops of the feet come to the mat, hands back by the lower ribs. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, step, walk, get the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms all the way up to standing. Hands come together overhead, down in front of the heart. Surya A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, hands down, step back to plank pose. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, bring the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, full, bend the knees, hands down, step back to plank pose, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back to down dog. Starting to build some heat. I think we're going to limit the number of vinyasas today. So we'll do 2 more Surya A's. Bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, get the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back, down dog. Catch your breath here, recover, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, last one. Bring the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms all the way up. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, step back to plank pose, lower down halfway to chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So shoulders are way behind the wrists. That's important so that you don't hang out in the shoulders and you get the weight evenly distributed across the body in your downward facing dog. This time, bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, bring the feet up to the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Take chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. Come all the way up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. So we'll come back to Urdhva Hastasana, reaching the arms up overhead, standing. And then see, as you draw the shoulder blades down the back, can you reach the arms back a little bit more? Maybe behind the ears, but try not to push the head forward to make that happen. Lengthen through the soles of the feet all the way up through the fingertips. And on the exhale, forward fold all the way down over the legs. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back behind you. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. Right arm reaches up for a twist. Right hand comes down inside the right foot. Walk the hands over to the left. Bring the hands up to the hips. Press yourself up to standing. Listen up here. Angle in the right toes. Turn the left toes all the way out. Warrior two facing the back of the mat. Thought we'd do a little around the world today since it's the last flow practice of the year. From your warrior two, make sure you're even across the weight distribution in the leg. So that back leg is powerful. It's driving through the mat. That right quad is pressing back to keep the legs straight. From here, think like triangle pose. Keep the legs, extend the left arm forward as far as you can, keeping the chest lifted. When you think you can't go any further, see if you can go farther. And then see if you can lie the left side rib cage down on the thigh, bringing the left hand outside the foot, right arm up and over for extended side angle. If you need to do forearm to thigh, that's fine. Or a block could be great here. If you're really close or want to go deeper than forearm to thigh. So Parshva Konasana. Chest is still rotating up. Look down at the mat. Bring the hands to the mat. You're coming onto the ball, the back foot. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot. So you're standing at the back of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Come all the way up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back and over to the right for a curtsy squat. So your front leg is just like chair pose. Weight goes into the right heel. Those left toes are light. Maybe you can bring the hands up in front of the chest. So think like one-legged chair pose. Light, light, hardly any weight on the left toes. Hands come down to the mat. Lift that left leg all the way up. Standing splits. Doesn't need to be your biggest one. That right leg's still opening. But you could play with your balance and walk the hands in a little closer to that standing foot. Left foot steps back to warrior one. So land the left heel down, line it up heel to heel or wider. Reach the arms forward all the way up. And then maybe you play with your arms here, trying to get the arms straight and back. Straighten the front leg. Turn the right toes in to face the side of the mat. Keep angling them in. Turn the left toes all the way out. Warrior two facing the top of the mat. Left foot forward, right foot back. Straighten the front leg. Triangle pose. So keep the legs straight. Reach over the left toes as far as you can, and then start to bring that left hand down, right arm up. A block is great outside the calf, underneath the shoulder. Line up the right hand with the right shoulder. Open up across the chest. Keep lengthening the left torso forward. Look down at the mat. Bring the hands to the mat, coming onto the ball, the back foot. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. All the way up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Let's Let's work on the shoulders one more time. Reach the arms up overhead. So Urdhva Hastasana. See if you can get the arms back, still driving down through the legs. Try not to bring the shoulders up as you bring the arms back. Try not to puff out the lowest front ribs here either. So you're standing in a straight line. Bend the knees, chair pose, arms still up, chest lifted. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back, right hand underneath the right shoulder, left arm reaches up for the twist. Opening up the shoulders in a different way here. Look down at the mat, left hand inside the left foot, walk the hands over to the right, turning the toes, bring the hands to the hips, bring yourself up to standing, angle in the left toes, turn the right toes all the way out. Warrior two, back of the mat. Lengthen the right thigh forward by pushing that left hip toward the right thigh. Straighten that back leg as much as you can. Lift the chest. Reach forward with the right arm, just like triangle, but keep that bend in the leg. Reach, 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 reach. And then slowly start to bring that right hand down, lying the right side torso on the thigh. Left arm up and over. Use blocks if you want, or forearm to thigh if you need to come up higher, but maybe you come down a little bit lower. Outer right hip hugs in. Left leg still driving through the mat. Look down at the mat, bring the hands to the mat. You're on the ball of the back foot. Step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. All the way up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fingertips down to the mat, little bend in the knees. Step the right foot over to the left. So behind that left leg, coming into your curtsy squat. Bring the weight into the left heel. Bring the hands up in front of the chest, lifting the chest really light on that right foot. Light as you can get it because you're driving down through the left leg. Hands come down, lift the right leg straight up and back. So standing splits. Maybe the hands start to walk in toward that standing foot. Step the right heel way back, warrior one. Reach the arms forward and up, warrior one, facing the back of the mat. Straighten the front leg, turn the left toes to face the side of the mat, angle in the left toes, turn the right toes all the way out, warrior two facing the top of the mat. Straighten the front leg, reach forward like you're trying to stretch those fingertips over the right toes, and then slowly keep that length as you bring the right hand down, left arm up for triangle pose. Look down at the mat, bring the hands to the mat as you come onto the ball of the back foot, little bend in that front knee. Step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the mat. Make your way back to downward facing dog. You can use a vinyasa if you want to get there, or skip it if you don't. Once you get to downward facing dog, see how long you can make the legs, the arms, the spine. Bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, bring the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. This time, bring the hands together down in front of the heart. Start to shift the weight over to the right foot. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. So standing pigeon, try to square the hips forward. Maybe sit back a little deeper so you start to open up the hip a little bit more. Couple of options here. Right hand, right hip. You can either grab the big toe with the first two fingers and the thumb, come up to standing and extend the left leg forward. It can have a bend. If that's not happening, you can come up to standing with a bent leg and hang on to the left knee. Padagustasana. Reach the right arm up if that's helpful. And you could open it out to the side. So left leg goes out to the side, chest lifted, right arm out to the side, back to center. Reach that left arm up, set the left foot down to the mat. Urdhva Hastasana. So drive down through the legs, reach the arms up and back, maybe behind the ears. Try not to do a back bend. Bend the knees, sit back chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back behind you. Left hand down, right arm up. Right hand inside the right foot. Walk the hands over to the left. Bring the hands up to the hips. Press yourself up to standing. Angle on the right toes. Turn the left toes all the way out. Warrior two facing the back of the mat. Reach that left arm forward as far as you possibly can. Go a little further. Then start to lie the left side torso down onto the thigh. Left hand down outside the foot. Right arm up and over. Drive down through that back leg. Open up across the chest. Right hand to the mat. You're on the ball of the back foot. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. All the way up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, little bend in the knees. Step the left foot back to a curtsy squat. It goes off the mat. Drive down through that right heel. Bring the hands in front of the heart if you're feeling confident. Hands come back down to the mat. Left leg up, standing splits. That right sit bone's pointing straight back. It's not going out to the right. Bend the standing leg, reach back with the left heel. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Straighten the front leg, turn the right toes in. Warrior two facing the top of the mat. Angle in the right toes, turn the left toes out, spread the arms out wide. Straighten the front leg, setting up for triangle. Reach further than you normally do with the left arm. Then bring the left hand down, right arm up. Look down at the mat, hands to the mat. You're on the ball of the back foot. Step the right foot forward to meet the left foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, chair pose. This time, hands together, right down in front of the heart. Weight goes into the left foot, right ankle, left thigh, sit back, standing pigeon. I think we're just going to call this class greatest hits. I'm feeling like I'm putting all my favorite transitions in here. Okay, left hand, left hip. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Figure out what you want to do with the right hand. You can grab the big toe with the left four fingers and thumb, or you can just grab that knee and come up to standing. Right leg goes forward. Gaze is straight forward. Maybe left arm reaches up. It's okay if you have a bend in that right leg. Take it out to the side. Right leg goes out to the side, left arm out to the side. Stand tall. Bring it back to center, left arm up, right leg forward. Right arm reaches up, right foot next to the left foot. Urdhva Hastasana. Drive down through the legs, reach the arms up and maybe back behind the ears. But lowest front ribs in, draw the buttocks down toward the mat. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back behind you. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up. Left hand inside the left foot. Walk the hands over to the right. Hands to the hips. Press yourself up to standing. Angle in the left toes. Turn the right toes all the way out. Warrior two facing the back of the mat. Reach forward with the right arm. Keep that bend in the front leg. Reach, reach, reach. And then lie the right side torso down on the thigh. Left arm up and over. Open up across the chest. Drive down through that back leg. Look down at the mat. Left hand to the mat. Step that left foot up to meet the right foot. Back of the mat, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Reach the arms up. Chair pose. All the way up to standing. Hands come together. Down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend in the knees, right foot curtsy squat. Step the right foot off the mat behind the left leg. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Dig down through that left heel, left leg, lifting the chest up. Hands come back down to the mat. Right leg up and back, standing splits. Warrior one. Reach back with that right heel. Reach the arms forward all the way up. Play with the straight arms, maybe reaching back behind the ears. Straighten the front leg, turn the left toes in, keep angling the left toes in, turn the right toes out. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Shift the hips back, reach that right arm forward, left arm straight up to the sky. Look down at the mat. Bring the hands to the mat, coming onto the ball of the back foot. Step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose, vinyasa if you want one. Back to down dog. Few breaths in your downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, bring the feet up to the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold back to chair pose. Left ankle, right thigh, standing pigeon. Hands can come together in front of the heart. Chest stays lifted. Right hand, right hip, left hand, left big toe. Padangusthasana. Extend that left leg forward, reach the right arm up. Maybe open everything out to the side. Back to center, left leg forward, right arm up. Reach the left arm up, left foot down, chair pose. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Fold, step the left foot back behind you, left hand down, right arm up for that twist. Right hand inside the right foot. Turn the toes to the left, walk the hands over, bring the hands to the hips, press yourself up to standing, angle on the right toes, turn the left toes out, warrior two. Reach forward over the left toes, left hand down outside the foot, right arm up and over. Looking down at the mat, come onto the ball of the back foot, hand down, step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, chair pose, all the way up to standing. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, little bend in the knees, left foot curtsy squat. Step the left foot back, dig down into the right heel, hands come up in front of the heart. Hands down to the mat, lift the left leg up, standing splits. Maybe that left leg goes up higher. Step back to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Left heel comes down, reach the arms forward all the way up. Straighten the front leg, right toes turn in. Keep angling the right toes in, left toes out. Warrior 2, front of the mat. Straighten the front leg, reach forward with the left arm, bring it down, right arm up, triangle pose. Hands come down to the mat. Squaring the chest forward, the hips forward. Make sure you're heel to heel or heel to arch when you do this. You can hop the back foot in a little bit if you want to. Fold down over the left leg, pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. So that whole sole of the right foot's down on the mat. Come up halfway, put a little bend in that left knee, step the right foot up to meet the left foot. Inhale up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, chair pose. Hands come together, down in front of the heart. This time weight goes on the left foot, right ankle, left thigh. Left hand, left hip. First two fingers and thumb on the right big toe. Extend that right leg forward. Maybe the left arm lifts for balance. Maybe we bring it out to this side. Back to center. Right arm lifts. Right foot down. Drive down through the legs, reach up through the arms, bring the arms back, Urdhva Hastasana, shoulder blades down the back. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back, right hand underneath the shoulder, left arm reaches up. Left hand down inside the foot, walk the hands over to the right, bring the hands to the hips, press yourself up to standing, angle on the left toes, turn the right toes out, Warrior 2, back of the mat. Reach forward with that right arm, set the right side torso on the thigh completely, left arm up and over the ear. Left hand to the mat, look forward, you're on the ball of the back foot, step the left foot up to meet the right foot, inhale up halfway, exhale, fold, chair pose. Up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, little bend in the knees, right foot steps back for your curtsy squat. Maybe the hands come together in front of the heart. Dig down into that left heel. Hands down, standing splits. Right leg reaches up and back. Step back to Warrior 1. Land the right heel down. Reach the arms forward and up. Straight arms. See where they go. Straighten the front leg. Turn the left toes in. Keep angling them in. Turn the right toes out. Warrior 2 to the front of the mat. Straighten the front leg. Hip shift back. Reach that right arm forward. Trikonasana triangle pose. Left arm up. Look down at the mat. Bring the hands to the mat, Parsvottanasana. You might need to hop that back foot over to the left a little bit to square the hips. Fold over the right leg. Look forward, bend the right knee, step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Vinyasa if you want, to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look up to the top of the mat, bring the feet up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. All the way up to standing, hands come together down in front of the heart. So bring the hands to the hips, step the left foot back. You want a long stance. So at least 2/3 of the way, you just want to make sure you can keep that left heel down on the mat. And then you'll just come up to standing, square the hips. You can use the hands on the hips to square them. So you'll notice the left big toes, they're angled pretty far forward. And then reach the arms up overhead. So you're driving down through the legs, reaching the arms up. And you can play with bringing the arms back if you want to. And then start to reach the arms forward just halfway. So you're hovering. Hips are pulling, both hips are pulling back. So that right hip pulls back and left hip pulls forward. Left hand, maybe the top of the ankle, right arm reaches up for a revolved triangle. Can use blocks. Left hand can also go outside of the foot if you're feeling open enough for that today. Drive down through the legs, lengthen the spine. Look down at the front foot, bring the hands to frame the foot. Little bend in that right knee, step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Bend the knees, chair pose. All the way up to standing, hands come together, down in front of the heart. Hands to the hips. Step the right foot back. You want a long stride as long as you can go without lifting that right heel. Square the hips. Fire up the legs, reach the arms up. Come forward halfway. Legs are strong. Pull the hip back, both hips back. Right hand comes down, maybe to the top of the ankle, inside the foot on a block. Left arm reaches up. Right hand can go as close as you want to that foot. It could even go outside of the right foot. That's a deep twist. So see where you're at. Look down at the mat, hands to the mat, framing the front foot, little bend in that front knee. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the mat. Last vinyasa if you want it on the way back to dog. Option for single pigeon today. If that doesn't work, come on your back and take thread the needle. If you like single pigeon and it doesn't bother your knee, reach the right leg up and back. Bring that right shin forward. Scoot that left leg back, top of the foot down. You're pointing the left big toe straight back. And then bring the hands to the hips, puff up the chest. So you can squeeze the outer hips in so you can square them. And then you can start to fold forward over the right leg. And sometimes in single pigeon, we get way heavier in the right hip and we start to rock over to the right. Try to keep things square with the hips so they're level. And bring the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the chest, tuck the back toes if you're in single pigeon, come back to downward facing dog. If you're on your back, you can switch sides. If you were in single pigeon, maybe pedal out the feet or take some circles with the right knee, whatever feels like it would be a nice way to counter single pigeon. Left leg goes up and back, three-legged down dog. Bring that left shin forward all the way up behind the forearms. Scoot the right leg back, point the right big toe back, start to bring the hands to the outer hips, squeeze the outer hips together, puffing up the chest, and then lengthen forward over the left leg. Level off the hips as best you can. I know you can't see yourself, so you just have to feel your way into it. Sit bones should be side by side in the same height. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders if you're in single pigeon, lifting the chest, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet or moving that left knee around in circles, whatever feels good on this side. Bring the knees down to the mat, come to seated. So feet come over to one side, legs out in front of you. And from here, let's bring the sole, the right foot, inside of the left leg. Oh, turn the chest open to the right. So you're coming into a twist. You can bring the back of the left hand to the right thigh as you gaze over the right shoulder, but try to sit up tall. So if you feel like you're rocking way back toward the back of the glutes, see if you can come forward toward the front of the sit bones and then turn. Left toes point up. Bring the gaze back forward. Slowly unwind the chest. Extend the right leg forward. Grab onto the back of the left thigh. Sole the left foot inside the right thigh. Open the chest to the left. Maybe the back of the hand to the left thigh. Sit up tall and then make sure you're forward on the sit bones, buttock bones, as you gaze over the left shoulder. Right leg is still strong, toes pointing up. So you're pressing the muscles in the backside of the right leg down into the mat. That also helps you lift the spine. Start to bring the gaze forward, unwind the chest, extend the left leg forward, reach the arms up overhead, root down through the back sides of the legs, lift up through the chest, start to reach forward over the toes. Get as long as you can. It's like someone's pulling your wrists forward. And then if you can grab onto the back of the feet, do that. If not, grab onto what you can reach. It might be the legs, sides of the mat is fine too. Let the head and the neck go. Those of you that can easily reach the back of the feet, you could slide the hands down toward the heels. That's a deeper opening. And this is great if you don't have a backache. If if your back's bothering you, you want to keep the chest up and the spine long. So you don't have to come all the way forward. Paschimottanasana. Come back up to seated, soles of the feet to the mat. Come on down onto your back. Make yourself comfortable for Savasana. Extend the legs out in front of you. Lift the chest up a little bit to get the shoulder blades underneath you. And start to take a deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it all go. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Stretch the arms overhead, reach out through the legs, feeling all that length and space you created in your own body. Walk the feet in, bending the knees, rolling over onto your right side. See if you can lie the head in the bicep. Left arm can just rest down the side of the body. Left hand comes down in front of you. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat, sitting up tall, bringing the hands together in front of you. Chest is lifted. Crown of the head rises up. And then you lengthen the elbows down toward the mat so the backs of the arms feel long. Keep all of that. Slight bow of the head. Thumbs in toward the sternum. Take a moment to yourself. Honor and acknowledge your heart and your spirit, as well as everyone around you. Bring the head back up. Blink open the eyes. Namaste. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. It's going to be my last class for a little while. I'm taking some time off to do an Iyengar yoga teacher training, which I'm really excited about, but it's hard to make space in the schedule and let go of other things that I love. All right. See you guys.